With the cost of food and basically every other necessity rising faster than your paycheck, you can understand how family budgets can be a little tight right now. Yours is probably feeling the strain. We met one family in Georgia, though, with a pretty simple plan. They live well, without debt, and they do it all on one teacher's salary. So that left us wondering, just how do they do it? Kofke is a special needs teacher in Jefferson, Georgia. The kind of job he says gives back every day.
I have a job that I enjoy, that even though I don't get paid that large of a salary, I enjoy it and I have fun, and it's passionate. It's a passion of mine. Who's that?
His monthly paycheck, however, hardly matches his devotion.
My salary right now is a little bit above $40,000 a year.
That's $10,000 less than the average American household, which earns just under $50,000 a year. Yet Kofke's been able to keep his family out of debt, and for 7 years, his wife Tracy has been able to stay home with their kids.
Anything we have besides the house, it's ours.
That's right. The 2 cars, new refrigerator, washer and dryer, even this 50-inch flat-screen TV have all been paid for.
I believe we're at 13 years until the house is paid off.
With just one major purchase left to tackle, the Kofkes are a rare sight in an economy that left most Americans mired in debt, carrying an average balance of just under $15,000.
We don't want for much. If we do want something, we end up saving for it.
Their lifestyle also provides an invaluable lesson for their children.
There's a 20, then 21.
7-year-old Ava divides her weekly allowance into 3 jars. One for spending, one for saving, and another for sharing.
As a parent, you need to discuss money issues with your children so they don't make the same mistakes that you have done.
Kofke shares his family's saving strategies in the recently published A Simple Book of Financial Wisdom.
I think the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to their money is they don't keep track of it and they don't know how they're spending it.
This is for the next month.
Right, get paid on Friday.
Our checkbook, I would say, is almost one of our key things to success.
Another key is spending as little as possible on the must-haves and skipping those impulse buys.
I usually will plan for 4 or 5 meals for the week, and that's what I'm shopping for. I wait for the coupons. I know that they'll come eventually. Now you're A.
This fall, the Kofke's youngest daughter, Ella, started school, and Tracy returned to work part-time as her teacher, adding another $600 a month to the family's budget.
In the whole scheme of things, it's not huge.
She hasn't even been paid yet, so we still haven't gotten used to living off of that extra money, but it will definitely help a little bit.
B.
But the extra income will offer some flexibility
H.
and set the Kofke's up to tackle their next goal, a debt-free retirement.
Don't worry about what your neighbors think, and I know we're in this habit of we try to keep up with the Joneses.
Keep going.
So to me, it's always do what's right for you and your family.
And Danny and Tracy Kofke are with us this morning. That's probably the hardest part for a lot of people because society has changed so much since we were kids, since our parents were kids, that now everybody gets what they want when they want it. And they do try to keep up with the Joneses. There's some sacrifice to living debt-free. What's the biggest sacrifice you guys have made?
Well, I think basically you just said it, not having everything all the time. We do live in a society where it's I see it, I want it, I'm going to buy it right now, and we don't think about the future ramifications of those decisions. So we do have to pick and choose and see what's important to us and what's important to our family. And we do it like that. So I guess it's just not having it all, and a lot of people have gotten accustomed to doing that. So that is the biggest change. But we've lived this for so long that it doesn't really feel like such a sacrifice for us.
And you're living well. I mean, you live in a beautiful home, 2 nice cars, 2 gorgeous girls.
Right.
And it doesn't look like they want for much.
No. And that they've gotten used to that. They appreciate things the same that we do, and we finally do save up for it, and we get it. They're just as happy to get something little because they've saved up for it too.
So you have a plan to help everyone at home, maybe start to follow the Kofke plan. The first thing you say is that you have to plan your financial goals with your partner. This has to be a team effort.
Definitely. Long-term planning was huge in our factor. If obviously, one of us is a spender and one is a saver, it's going to be very difficult. And we discussed this before we had children while Tracy was still a school teacher, and we were making 2 incomes at that time and relatively larger than what we're doing now. But obviously to live off $40 grand a year, we couldn't couldn't have a lot of debt. We couldn't have huge car payments, huge mortgage payments. So while she was working, we looked towards the future to prepare ourselves to be able to live on my teacher's salary alone.
So you actually saved up so that you'd be able to stay home. So that's part of the planning and having a common goal with your partner. Also, you say track your spending. Boy, it's really eye-opening for a lot of people.
A lot. I mean, and that's what we have found mostly, that a lot of people just don't know where their money's going. They don't know, not even know where their money is going, the whole latte factor, things like that, but they don't even know where their bills are supposed to be, how much money goes out to bills that are specific for each month. And it gets them in trouble with that.
Yeah, plus the debit card makes it so easy.
Yes.
You also say create an emergency fund, and we're hearing about the importance of this
Yes.
more and more, of course, with the unemployment rate.
Definitely. If you have an emergency fund in place, it can turn what could be a catastrophe into an inconvenience instead. And we don't know when something bad is going to happen, but if you live in a house long enough, if you drive a car long enough, something's going to break in it. It's just reality. So having an emergency fund, it helps so much that you're able to pay cash for it and get it replaced. And just before we came on your show, actually, we took Tracy's van in and it needed new brakes. It was over $400. Did I like spending it? No. But that's why the emergency fund is there. And, it's important to keep the brakes working so my family's safe.
Yes, it is. That is $400 well spent.
Yes, absolutely.
You also say pay off all credit card debt, which we know obviously why that's important. Before we let you go, we mentioned 7 years. You stayed at home. You guys saved up for it. Now you've got that extra $600 a month. Have you thought about, beyond saving, beyond retirement, is there a little something special you might do to reward yourselves now and then with that money?
It's the little things. Like yesterday, I went on a field trip with my daughter. I bought her a stuffed animal in the store. Typically, I wouldn't get those little things. We might go out to eat one more time a week. It's just gives us that little bit of flexibility to splurge, because we don't usually. So.
It's nice to buy something nice for Tracy.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. Definitely.
Great to have you guys, and thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.